lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm excited for this video because I'm going to be talking about the Too Faced Do You Full Coverage Fresh Glow Foundation that just came out with their Tutti Frutti collection. I was really excited about the way that this sounded because it said like that it's a full coverage dewy foundation, and I love that. I feel like everyone is coming out with full coverage matte foundations, and I'm like, I want it to be full coverage, but I want it to be dewy at the same time. So I actually got another foundation recently, the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, and so I asked you guys on Instagram who you wanted to see a video on first, and 54% said Too Faced, so that's what I went ahead and did today. But I will have the video on the NYX foundation very soon. So let's just go ahead and do a quick rundown on the foundation. It retails for $36 and it has 1.35 ounces, which is actually pretty nice. That's about a third more than a regular foundation bottle has, so I enjoy that. I also love that it's a squeezy tube but a pump at the same time, so I feel like you're gonna be able to get all the product out of this. And it does have 20 shades, which is okay. I always think it's disappointing when a brand releases a foundation and it's like kind of like a normal amount of shades, and then they slowly add to it. Like what I'm talking about is the Born This Way foundation. They slowly added to it, and now the Born This Way foundation shade range is amazing, but then they come out with a new foundation and they don't continue with such an amazing shade range. They start off with the small one again, and it's a brand like Too Faced. You know that they have the money to do it, to come out with an amazing shade range to begin with. And I mean, this looks fine. It has like, you know, a gradient. It looks like a fair amount of shades in each category, but I definitely think that it could go darker. It could have more gradient, more undertones. It could go lighter. So I really hope that, or I really wish that they would come out with more shades when they first release a foundation. And just to give you guys a quick little rundown on the claims, I feel like Too Faced is really great about including everything that they want to tell you about the foundation. Like anything you want to know, they have like an entire book on. But quickly, it just says it's a long wearing, dewy finish, hydrating, brightening foundation. It says hydrate and brighten your complexion with this long wearing watermelon, cucumber, and vitamin C infused gel cream foundation that covers every flaw while creating a dewy, fresh, and luminous glow. Do You smooths, moisturizes, and nourishes skin for a flawless, fresh complexion that's one in a melon. That is a corny pun, but I'm here for it. One in a melon. Okay. So I grabbed the lightest shade that they have, which is Swan, and I'm going to go ahead and quickly insert some swatches of this compared with other foundations so you guys can get a good reference for it. Okay, so here are the shades swatched. Funny enough, all of these foundations are dewy. To be perfectly honest, I never have a rhyme or reason to what foundation shades I swatch in these videos. It's always just whatever foundations are in front of me. So it's kind of a coincidence that these are all dewy foundations. Hopefully it's still helpful. But the very first one here is the Do You foundation from Too Faced in the shade Swan. Next to that is the new Born This Way foundation shade in the shade Cloud. Obviously so much lighter, a little bit more rosy. The Swan oxidizes a bit and it has more of an orangey yellow undertone. The next shade here is the Light Illusion foundation from Flower Beauty in the shade Porcelain L1, and it's got a pretty similar shade to Swan. Next is the It Cosmetics CC cream in the shade Fair, and then last but not least, this is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation in the shade Porcelain. Alright, so I think that's everything I wanted to say about the foundation so far. I am going to go ahead and jump on into applying it, and then we're going to do a wear test to see how it lasts throughout the day. Alright, so as always, I'm going to start off with my Glossier Priming Moisturizer Rich as my primer today. It just adds a lot of hydration to the skin. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do foundation now. I'm super excited. On one side of my face, I am going to be using a damp sponge. This is the Kumadori sponge from Japanesque, one of my favorites. And then on the other side, I'm going to be using the Real Techniques sculpting brush. Real Techniques actually sent this to me through Octoly, and I'm seriously obsessed with this brush. Like, I have been applying my foundation with brush every single day, and I'm like, who am I? Like, did I get abducted by aliens? What happened? But this is so fluffy, and like it's still dense at the same time, and it just gets around the curves of your face so perfectly that I just seriously love this brush so much. So I'm going to go ahead and just use one pump, which is actually pretty small. The pump isn't that much product, and I'm just going to start off with the brush side, Just grab that up and blend that into the skin. Oh, it smells like, okay, it smells like a candy, but I can't think of what it is. But it smells so familiar, it's crazy. Okay, so I went in with just a tiny little pump, and I definitely would not call that full coverage. Like, between the two sides of my face, like, this is definitely a little coverage and dewy, but nowhere near full. I mean, it looks pretty, but that does not look like a full coverage foundation at all. It looks more light coverage. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take another pump, just because the pump is so small, and gonna do another layer. Okay, so that looks way better. Definitely want to go in with like a full like 2 pumps, because the pumps are just super tiny, so it's really not even using that much product. I'd say it looks medium coverage now, but it looks super beautiful, super smooth on the skin. So I like it. I think the shade is perfect for me right now in the summer. Like, it's pretty much my exact skin shade, actually. That's kind of crazy. I was nervous about the shade, since in the Born This Way foundation, this shade was too dark for me, but it matches pretty well. In the winter, definitely gonna have to mix it in with other foundation or a lightener. Alright, so moving on to the next side, just gonna go ahead and do the 2 pumps pretty much, which still, like I said, is not a ton of product, and I'm gonna bounce that on. Okay, so there's what both sides look like. I honestly like both sides. I don't have a preference. I think the sponge looks beautiful. I think the brush looks beautiful. Both sides are pretty easy. And I'd say that it looks like medium, almost full coverage. I wouldn't say quite full coverage, because I can still see a little bit of redness, a little bit of freckles. If you guys don't know, so I had this like conspiracy theory for a while, and I kind of had it confirmed that I've always felt like foundations, like other people say it's like full coverage, and then I get it and I'm like, this is medium coverage. And I honestly think it's because of being so pale, that when you are pale, you're putting a white shade on top, or like a really light shade on top of your skin, and so I think it automatically has less coverage. Whereas if you have a deeper skin tone and you're putting a shade that has pigment in it, it's automatically gonna have more coverage. It just makes sense, and I've always felt like that. And I saw on Twitter a woman of color makeup artist, and she was like, I swear sometimes I'll take a foundation that is like full coverage on an African American, and I'll put it on a white person and it looks like a BB cream. And I'm like, it's because you have the pigment level is different. So I kind of keep that in mind. Like, a lot of times when YouTubers are like, this is so full coverage, I get it. I'm like, no, it's not for me anyways. I do notice it creasing a little bit around my smile lines, so I'm just tapping that out until I get the chance to set it. And because this is obviously supposed to be dewy, I'm going to try and set my foundation the least amount as possible. But I think it looks really beautiful, honestly, so far. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my face, and I'll be right back. The time is 12:26. I've got like 8 million notifications going on there. Okay, so here's what it looks like after all of my makeup is on and done, and I think it looks nice on the skin. It looks soft. It looks like a more of a natural finish. The only places that I set was underneath my eyes, a little bit on my forehead right here where I crease, my nostrils where I crease, like the side of my nose, and then my smile lines as well. And I think it looks good. I honestly don't feel like it looks that different from the Born This Way foundation. Like, the finish is very similar. But the thing is, I think that I might be having a reaction to it because of the smell, maybe. Just because I noticed certain like parts of my face, like right here is really red out of nowhere. Right here is really red. A little bit here too. and I feel like my face is a little itchy. Like, I don't know, I feel like I can see a lot of redness peeking through. So I think maybe I'm having a bad reaction to it, which I really hope that I'm not. Oh, I guess I'll just have to go throughout the day and see how it goes. But right now, that's the only thing I'm like having a problem with. I'm thinking maybe. I don't know. We'll have to go ahead and do the wear test and see. I'll let you guys know at the end of the day. I will be back in like 8 hours. Okay guys, so I am seriously so tired. It's not even funny. It is 9:55 and I've had the foundation on for I think 9 hours. I think I like finished around like 12:30. And honestly, I think it looks really good for 9 hours of wear. It looks natural on the skin. It doesn't look super dewy. It doesn't look super dry. It is creasing a little bit around my smile lines. I lost a little bit of coverage on my chin. Overall, I still have decent coverage though. I noticed that after about 30 minutes of wearing the foundation, the redness that I was feeling in like certain areas did go away, and it didn't stay. So I'm not sure what that was about. I don't know if I was having a reaction to the smell or what, but I will definitely let you guys know if I break out from it, or like whenever I take my makeup off. If I have any thoughts, I'll put them on screen. But honestly, I think it looks really, really nice. The only thing that's a little confusing for me is that I feel like it looks a lot, like extremely close to the Born This Way foundation. Like the finish, how it wore, like, I don't know, I feel like the Born This Way foundation is so close to it, and honestly, I don't feel like you need to have both. So, I mean, I like it, but, I'm not really like super in-depth type of person who goes through and compares ingredients, but I do want to check the ingredients between the two foundations and see how close they are, because they are so similar. So I think that's everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.